Boom. So boom. We got action. So boom. Welcome back to
Meet the Eastons.
Meet the Eastons.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. 2021 is upon us. It is January 10th. Shit's already crazy, but you know what? We are gonna hang in there. So I think we talked about wanting to start off with talking about, I mean, we're still essentially in quarantine.
Somewhat. Not as much as it was.
No, but I'm just saying it's back. The numbers are spiking, and specifically where we are, LA, Southern California. So life is definitely not back to normal. I think the last time we did one of these, it was like the very beginning of quarantine, and it was like not fun and games, but we were like, yeah, this is what we're gonna be doing, and then it's like fast forward.
Then chill for a little bit though. You kind of got a little laxed.
Yeah.
Now it done got
back crazy.
We're back on paranoid status now.
Yeah. But something interesting that I was reading about and that we were talking about too was like, it's crazy because well, not crazy, we were talking about reasons behind it, but like the divorce rates have plummeted. And he made a joke because he was like, people not trying to go
motherfuckers ain't trying
mess
to go
around or
no, this is not the time to go find nobody. That's a damn show.
And I just feel like, you know, like economically, like people might have lost their jobs, divorces are expensive. And I mean, the sweet side of me is like, maybe people found
a way to love each other again, right?
Which we have seen a few instances of that too, like people.
Because when you ain't out running around and
moving 24/7.
Yeah, you able, when you gotta sit down and in the house with somebody, you know, maybe you found your way back into love. Hopefully.
So. We've been doing well in quarantine. I don't like saying quarantine because that's like what happens when you catch it, but like what is it, self-isolation or whatever.
Yeah, but it's still a panoramic. A pandemic. It's still a pandemic.
It's still a panoramic.
Excuse that, somebody must be on
the door.
Front door,
and the dog is gonna probably bark. But anyway, so yeah, it's been good. We've been still trying to, like, I think one of the things we've been trying to at least make sure that we do is like find time for ourselves. Yeah. At first we were like super nervous to travel, which we kind of still are. We've been doing like staycations in drivable places, so like not getting on any flights. But like maybe a quick Vegas trip or like
Malibu.
Catch
a flight a couple months ago though.
Listen, that was when it wasn't as hot though. It like came back with a
vengeance. We went to where it's we went
to Atlanta, and it was like, I was like, oh, this is a whole nother world. Like it's open.
It ain't no panoramic around there,
like,
man.
Open, like what? it was like culture shock. Like, what is happening here? It's definitely not happening in LA.
For real.
So that was interesting. But we have, I mean, everybody, I feel like everyone should be getting tested regularly, hopefully at this point.
Yeah.
Even if you don't feel it, because there's a lot of people that are asymptomatic.
And then
the people.
I'm trying to stop cussing. Then the motherfuckers getting people sick, man.
Yeah, because they just don't know, and they're like still going around people. And then some people that do know are still, which is weird to me, but whatever.
Still out hanging, right? Like, didn't you just test positive?
So yeah, we hope everybody is doing well and safe and sound and
healthy
and still being cautious, you know, and trying to practice as much social distancing as you can.
Right.
So
we got a selected few we let come to the house, and that ain't even.
Yeah, we've been. We
about to kick the cleaning lady out again since numbers up with them.
Yeah, Vicky might not be able to come. But you just have to think about that. Like, you don't know where she's been. Then she comes around and cleans your whole house.
She go to other people's houses.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just it's a daily decision.
Life's all in the world.
But yeah. And then I think one of the other things, just because it's like, you know how it's a new year, and I put that in quotes because it technically is a new year, but I mean, really, where are we? We didn't have a 2020 at this point, but
yeah, we did.
We did.
We lived.
We did. We
was able to wake up. You know, we was blessed to see it every day.
Okay, shut me down then, fine. I understand. I feel you, but
we still gotta be grateful. You know.
No, I'm super grateful always. I'm just kind of saying, like, it doesn't even, like, the new year. It felt like a new year, but it's like damn, like where did the whole year go? Yeah. But to your point, I think that's a great way to kind of even segue, because being grateful and really taking account of like all the things you have, your health. Sorry if you guys hear that noise. The dog is eating. But it's just I've been trying to be super mindful of it, and you know, be vocal about it. And I think as we progress into the year, we've been talking about like setting goals, and as a couple, I feel like we talk about it like every year. We'll like, me and him will talk about it, but I think this feels like the first year when we've been like really like
talk about team goals, and
yeah,
actually, you know, no, we have talked about goals, but we never like actually talked about the execution.
But that's what I'm saying, like we talked about goals, and like, but it's like sitting down and being like, okay, and I mean,
how are we gonna do this? What does this look like?
Yeah, we I mean, I don't know, we not that you're not comfortable talking about, but like we just opened up a joint account, like we all of our stuff has been separate.
Yeah, we've been separate, but it works out good. It's not like we don't have no type of issues with that, but
it's not a problem. But in our conversations of talking about savings goals, it's like, okay, we need to be accountable to one another. We need to make sure we actually are putting in the amount that we've agreed to, or whatever it is. But to do that, no.
Hey, Boogie.
Sorry, guys. Come up here. No, come over here. Come on. Come here. Okay.
No, okay.
Come on. Sit. So we've been talking about being really diligent, and opening up that joint account is a way that we feel like is gonna be helpful.
Yeah, and you know, we married, you know what I mean? We've been together all these years. You know, we should have been had a joint account, but
I think that's something to talk about and discuss too, though, because like, should you, like, is it a thing that like some people do, some people don't, you know?
Yeah, see, but some people, I feel like, see, we've always separated the bills. Yeah. You pay for this, you pay for this. So,
versus like it being one big account, and we like pay out of that.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And then, you know, me personally, I want to know, I want to have my money in my hand before I put it somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, I want to get paid, have my money, and then I let you see it, or let you see how much is this or that. Rather than, imagine if we both had our money going into the same account. That's kind of like I don't need you policing what I'm spending, and vice versa.
Okay.
I would have to police you a little bit more on the spending, but you really don't want that. Imagine if you was, I seen everything came out your account. I'm calling you like, what the hell is this shit? What are you doing? You know, but I don't want to be policed.
Yes, I understand. But I don't even know, like, I do, so subconsciously I do feel like that's maybe like why we haven't had one in the past. But to your point, like, we just always split up the bills. So it was never like a, you know, or even when we got married, I don't feel like it was like a let's immediately go, because some people that's an immediate thing, like, we're married now, we need to have a joint account, we need to make sure, you know. But I agree with what you're saying.
We've had a credit card for years, though. Yeah,
like a credit card, but like, it feels like to not feel like you're getting clocked, I guess makes sense. But
not that you be going to clock my money or nothing, baby, but you know.
You never know. What are we doing? What are you spending that on? Here? Okay.
Yeah, no, you can relax.
But so anyway, that's one of the things, and I think that goes back to like what we were talking about like finances and having savings goals as well, and really putting forth, like, we have some goals, like we want to remodel the house and do some updates around here, so figuring out what that's going to cost, and you know, in phases, and how quickly we want to do it. Do we want to do it at the end of Q3? And I think also breaking it up into shorter term goals makes it more feel like it's more achievable, versus being like, at the end of the year, I'm gonna make sure I have $20,000 saved up.
You'll procrastinate on your way to your goal. You know, if you don't But the good thing is we also are here to, and that's what we talked about too when we actually set these goals at the beginning of the year, is holding each other accountable. Like, look, this is what we're gonna be on you, and be on you about it. All right, cool, you know. So,
and I think that's the benefit of the joint account too, because it's like, even because before we've loosely said like, oh, we're gonna save $500 each check or whatever it is, but I could say I'm doing that, but like,
if you don't, right,
and then I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna just save 1,000 on the next one because I didn't do the 500 on this one or whatever whatever it is. But this is like, oh, I can log in. Oh, so it's no money in there. Okay, cool. Like, more
you just gotta watch people sometimes. You know what I mean?
Wow, now
might be TMI, but I gave this lady $1,000 to put on this credit card, and I think she put $600 on there.
I put $800 and I saved $2.
What do you mean save $2? That makes no sense. I don't understand. That makes no sense.
I just for some reason
you took $2 and you spent it. It's cool.
I did.
Because I gave cash. Now with the joint account, I know exactly what's coming out. Okay, B of A is taking that out. Boom, we good.
I did.
So you know what? This joint account is kind of cool. You know what? We're gonna see how this works.
Oh my God!
It was recent.
People won't let you down like we 6 months ago.
Yes, no, that was about 4 months ago.
Regardless,
6 months is recent.
That was a while ago.
But see, you don't know. If y'all don't got no joint account, you don't know. Well, we on the same credit card, so I did know. But
that I didn't put it all in there.
Yeah, I said, what is this? Well, okay.
This
no worries.
motion you keep doing. It's just like,
you're supposed to be looking at the camera, not my feet.
I mean,
okay.
I feel it because it's just like you're hitting it over and over.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I think finances is one of our biggest things though, like which kind of like branches out into other things, like we said, wanting to fix up the house, wanting to just have like a, super big nest egg and like have money that, that we're sitting on. And then I think also, investment properties is something that we are trying to make sure we get under our belt.
Right.
So getting the down payments for those together. I mean, it's just a number of things, but I do think talking about it is really, really important. Right. And laying it out. I don't know if you have anything to add on that.
And finances, I think, is one of the biggest reasons why people be breaking up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
So, luckily we never, I don't really give a shit about no money like that. You know what I mean? We're going to figure out a way to do whatever we got to do. Mm-hmm. But some people really do put a lot on that.
Right.
But
yeah.
Y'all just work together, y'all be all right.
I do think it's funny when, I don't know, it's just, money is like, and I hate to say it like that, but it really is, because like, when people talk about marriage, it's like, it's a business arrangement. Like, at the end of the day, like, of course, please find someone that you love and that you love being around and that, you know what I mean, is your friend and all of those things. But
it is a business.
It's a business arrangement.
Yeah.
And so you have to, I think you also have to.
Both can't have trash credit. Somebody got to have some cool credit. At least one person.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
She's been the good credit person for the most part, but you go relax. You better relax.
See, no, I took that as me not having me for the most part. For me, I've always had incredible, but you're saying for the most part, I see what you did there. Yeah, your credit's great too.
but try to, you got to think about them kind of things. So I guess it is a business arrangement.
No, it is. And you're attaching yourself to someone, and like, you're married. If you don't pay something, then sometimes I don't even know how it really works. How they even get
your, she don't have bill collectors ever call her?
People have called me and
me.
And it has nothing, like, it's just, but that just goes to show you, like, you are married. This is your responsibility too. So it is a business arrangement, and I do think it's really important to be mindful of the financial responsibility that you take on too when you're in a relationship.
Other the truth.
Yeah.
Fellas or ladies, don't lie to your significant other about what you had in the past, because it's gonna come back and it's gonna affect them as well. So I know a lot of stuff we've had 6, 7, 8 years old. You even forgot about the little $300 payday loan you might have got when you was 20 years old. You know what I mean? But then when they come back, now they calling your wife 10 years later, and you know what I mean. So you know, that is what happened to me.
I was like, he just gave.
I gave it.
I was like, that's so detailed.
I gave it up.
You know that's real.
I gave it up.
Like,
I gave it up.
So detailed.
I gave it up.
But that's for real. That's real shit. I had with me with the not that they called you about it, but I've always been super upfront with my finances, and I had. Did I co-sign or someone co-signed for me on a student loan? And then they filed bankruptcy, and so it automatically, and mind you, student loan meaning like from college, so it automatically came back on me, and it looked like I lapsed in it, and it just my credit. Oh my God! When I tell you,
ooh, she was like depressed for a good couple weeks
because I'm so proud of it, and I worked so hard to maintain it, and then that one thing happened, and I was just like. I remember being on the treadmill at the gym crying on the phone with him like, I don't know what to do, like what? But it's really important that you're like super transparent about I think every single little thing when it comes to that, because that stuff will come up whether you know it or not.
Exactly.
And once you do the marriage thing, and like, I mean, I understand a lot of people, you know, are pretty much married except for on paper, because that's a thing too. Like, you know, they don't want paperwork, and that's totally fine. But just know if you jump off that bridge and do that, then it is a real commitment.
We are together with everything.
Yeah, 100%.
I think we got off topic.
I mean, it's still, yeah, kind of, but you know.
But we set them goals for 2021.
Yeah. What else? What other? I mean, I think like you said, being grateful, being mindful, like trying to exercise X amount of time. I mean, that's like the typical like New Year's resolutions. I think, you know,
but the difference in us having goals, we actually talked about how we gonna achieve them,
in a timeline,
what it actually looks like. You know, that's what we haven't done
in the past.
But we actually did that this year.
And I think like attributing a timeline and a deadline to things too, because like if you look at if you say at the end of Q1, which is the end of March, we want to have X amount of money saved up, and this is what we want to have, you know, in progress. The kitchen needs to be halfway done by then, or whatever it is. If we look up and we're at the end of March and that hasn't happened yet, we need to re-sit down and reassess and figure out like, okay, either how do we catch up to what we said we were going to do, or how do we reassess and maybe you know, adjust whatever it is that we said we want to do. And it's really, really important too. I was reading something the other day. It's so funny. I saw this meme, and it was like when people say they were reading an article the other day, like you were scrolling on Instagram and you saw a little something, a little quote, a little line, whatever. But anyway, basically it was, damn, I lost my train of thought by saying that. You know, my shit is that.
I get like that sometimes.
But what were we talking about just now? Oh, setting we said the end of March. I was like, if you come up with a goal and the timeline.
Pretty much, in other words, you know, don't be afraid to get with your partner and actually sit down and talk about these things. Especially coming into the new year. What I like about the new year, and it kind of reminds me of being in school. You know, you say you got bad grades, and you and your bad grade getting homies. Y'all all get together on the first day of school and say some shit like we get a chance to start all over. That's what the new year kind of feels like. Yeah, every year.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, shout out my partners. They know who they is. Yeah, but that's what it feels like. You know what I mean? So, whatever you did last year, you're starting over this year. You know what I mean?
It's a new chance. And honestly, every day is a new chance. So don't even.
You don't gotta subscribe to that, but. You know, a lot of people like to do New Year's resolutions and stuff like that.
Oh, that's kind of what along the lines of what I was gonna say was like waking up every single day and like approaching it that way, regardless of what happened yesterday. I know it's really hard, and I know especially right now, some people are going through things, loss, and you know, it's just so many things that are happening. But if you're aware and you're awake and you opened your eyes, like be mindful of that. Like that's like the first best part of the day. Like, woo, okay, I open my eyes. Like, then you tackle the next thing, then you tackle the next thing. And these first couple of weeks, or what is it, 1 week so far, I guess?
Yeah,
it's just 1 week. Damn. It's been a week. But even trying to be like very, like I said, I keep saying the word mindful, but it's just so important, like to be aware and to just, you know, give thanks and say thank you. And I say it out loud. We also, one more thing we've talked about is saying things out loud. That is important. So that the universe can hear you, so that God can hear you, so that whoever you are talking to can hear you. And prayer, I know people talk about prayer, and I feel like it's something that a lot of people do sometimes maybe quietly or in your mind, or
speak that out though.
Say that.
Say it.
I've started to talk in the shower a lot. Like, you just, wherever you are, in the car, before you start your day, you have to talk it out loud and say it. And you know, that's one of the things that I don't think we've done. We it's like, did you pray for it, or did you talk about it? Like, but now it's just like,
but now we're doing that. We're doing that
out loud. So I think that concludes.
That's the first one for 2021.
Kicking it off.
You know.
I hope everyone is receiving this well, and we will see you on the next one.
Love is love. Y'all keep loving each other.
Deuces.
All right.